Hey folks, it's Larry again, OneManGarage. Thought I'd do a little update on the Wagon. Over the last few months had finally committed to getting some kind of a driver quality paint job that could be done in a reasonable amount of time. And good or bad or indifferent, I just did a Maaco deal. So there's still detail work to be done on it, but I just got it home. I took it with the front end off because I had other loose fenders I wanted to paint loose off the car. So we'll get more on that later, but basically that's, time to start trimming out stuff on the chrome and fenders, trim and whatnot that I took off so it could have a little bit better quality, to detail the trim. But for example, like the side molding, that's just a tape off job, Maaco, tape off the chrome. That's all I wanted, was just a driver paint job. So the quarter panel that was real rough looks real good now, and some other real bad areas were fixed. There's still real light dingage and some touch-ups that are needed. Like I said, it is not perfect, but it's the first car I ever got painted in 52 years. And did a little hood upgrade. If you'll notice here, we have a Cutlass S/base model 442 hood that has the bigger, more aggressive, bulgy front where it's kind of taller, and then it has these chrome removable trimmed louver vents in the back. And for comparison, I can show you the old hood that came on the car. It is out here by the blue bonnets that are about to get mowed down in a couple weeks. And this is the old Wagon hood. So I'm going to be taking the trim off of this and the nose emblem and the rear chrome and transferring it over. But I'm keeping this hood. I may get it painted later to match. Here's the old Catalina waiting. I want to do a fresh short block on it. Its motor's about 12 years old since it was put together, and it's got one ring. It got rust damage when some water sat in it that I didn't know was in there. It had a head gasket thing, and it ended up scoring a cylinder and eating up the ring. So it runs, but it's just turned into a mosquito killer. So, and we prefer the car to be more killer than what it kills, besides the guy lined up next to it, right? I did win some races in this. Bracket raced it ever since the Wagon no longer had the Pontiac engine, because it went into this. And for the sake of a little bit of humor, our Firebird project over there actually had the engine that's in the Catalina that was in the Wagon was in that car first. So it was fresh when it was in that car in 2010 or 2011, and then it sat for 4 years on engine stand, and then it went into the Wagon. We're talking about a Pontiac 455. It's in my other video I posted earlier today. And then that motor came out and went into the 63 Catalina. So that's why the Oldsmobile engine, is original numbers matching, is back in this car. I'm using a 79 Trans Am air cleaner so it would clear the HEI distributor, because this is the 403 Olds engine 6.6 that were in the Trans Ams and most of them. So that was a good source. I just happened to have it, and when I put the HEI in, I couldn't use the original 70 air cleaner. And while we're out here, let's just take a look at some other Oldsmobile items. This was a parts car Rally 350 I had. You're probably like, well, why did you part out a Rally 350? Well, maybe it's because I have a Rally 350 that I haven't showed you guys yet. The fenders and bumper and ram air hood are all over here. The frame is next to the Firebird on the stands, needing blast and paint. And these are the Wagon's old fenders. You can sort of see that it kind of has some damage. Wasn't really, oh yeah, in the rust holes. So the Wagon's old fenders were dented and rusted. So there you go. And then some other cars that you may not have seen. This is our 66 Star Chief. It's a 55,000 mile original car that sat up from 1982. until my buddy bought it from an auction through a junkyard near them, and got it running initially, but it stayed parked again for a few years, and then I ended up trading for it and got it going for good this time, and I've had it a couple years already. And then last year's COVID 2020 score of the year, the nicest old car we've ever had. It's a 83,000 mile, was one owner. We're the second owner. 69 Le Mans 350. It had wire wheel hubcaps, but I had to do the rally wheels, make it look right. It's got factory disc brakes, console shift, bucket seats, got perfect interiors. Just got one little crack in the dash in the left front corner, but now it was a 2-barrel 350 with air conditioning that still works, and you know, car's been maintained, and I think it was really just parked a couple of years since the original owner wasn't driving much anymore. And basically it had the 2-speed auto, which was weird because they started having more turbo 350s in most of these in 69, but you can still get the 2-speed, which really sucks. There's no gears. That makes the car really slow. So basically I did what I always do. I did a 4-barrel swap, dual exhaust, and a turbo 350 swap, which is a complete bolt-in. And just doing that basic performance tune-up, so to speak, made the car wonderful. I mean, we drove it out of town last weekend for our anniversary, and it's just awesome. It was actually a gold car, but the lady had it painted blue. This is like a 40-year-old paint job from Dallas. Got receipts on it. And here's some of the interior on this thing. Need to vacuum the carpet, but here's a little Star Chief. But anyway, enough of that. Actually looks pretty good. Can't wait to get all the trim on it, tail lights, back bumper, so on, and get the detail work done. We'll check in later. Adios.